Stranded or not stranded? It's up to you. This is my wife and my son. He's the cameraman. Oh, great. My goal today is to make sure that I give a speech that's going to help my family to know how to change a flat tire. I've been changing tires for over 20 years, and I've been doing this for some time, and I've had to pick them up on the side of the roads and so forth. But I wanted to make sure today that I gave a detailed presentation on how to actually do this. I want to make sure that you know how to avoid the hazards, know the safety measures, tools needed, and actually how to change a tire. Well, first, if you experience a flat tire, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you pull over to the side of the road. You want to get out of the way of regular traffic because now the vehicle is going to go exceptionally slow. So you get into a safe area and then make sure that you get so far to the side of the road that the other vehicles won't strike you. Now, next you want to make sure that you put on your hazard lights. You're sitting in the vehicle, you want to make sure the other vehicles see you. It is your responsibility to make sure that they can see you by putting on the hazard lights. It's usually a little triangle either on the dashboard or the steering wheel. The next thing that you want to do is actually make a phone call. A lot of people skip this step because they're very self-sufficient or what have you, but it's a very safe thing to do to make sure that someone knows where you are so that you won't be in a position to where you can get out of your vehicle and something else happens, no one knows, and now you have no ability to call anyone. Before you get out of the vehicle, make sure you put on your parking brakes. This makes sure all four wheels are locked in place so when you start to work on the vehicle that it won't roll. You observe your surroundings. You make sure that when you get out, if you need something like a raincoat or something to put over you, let's say it's raining or it's foggy, to just be aware of what's happening around you. Next, as you get out of the vehicle, most of the time, the items that you will be needing will be in the trunk of the vehicle. Now, you'll be needing, and if you follow me, you'll see over here, you'll have a spare tire. You'll also have two different types of jacks here. In your vehicle, the main jack that you'll use will be under your spare tire. Okay, so this is the type of jack that you may see in your own vehicle. Okay, usually you would need to take a spindle or something off because it's usually you have to turn it and then take it physically out. And then you'll also get a tire iron. The tire iron is used to make sure the lug nuts physically come off. And this is just another form of a jack, which is for a bigger vehicle. So these are the things that you'd be using. Now, as I did research on it, I found that you can also get extra things to help make it more comfortable, as I observed from dmv.org. To make these more comfortable, you'd have things like gloves, maybe, a tarp for you to kneel on, a poncho just in case it rains, or even some fix-a-flat, tire gauge, or even tire blocks. All these things can make the experience a little bit better. Now, as you are going to go through the motions of replacing the flat tire, you want to make sure all of these tools are right where the flat tire is, so you don't have to run back and forth. The first step you do is take the tire iron and actually place it on the lug nuts and loosen the lug nuts before you even jack up the car. You loosen, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5, but loosen them all up before you jack the car up. You'll take the jack, physically jack up the car until it's about 1 inch. The flat tire should be 1 inch off the ground. Once it's 1 inch off the ground, now you can take the lug nuts completely off and the tire off as well and replace it with your spare tire as we observed here. Now, once you replace the spare tire, this is very important. Follow me here. On here, you want to make sure that when the lug nuts physically go on, that you put them on and tighten them down. First, you'll tighten them with your hands, just so that they're snug all the way around. But when you physically tighten it with this, So make sure that you use a star pattern. You go from here, here, then here, here, then here. The purpose for doing it that way ensures that you have the ability to make sure the tire is flat all the way on the wheel well. Once it's completely flattened and tightened all the way down using that star pattern, now you can let down the car. You take all your tools, including the flat tire, and put it back into the trunk. Now you're good to go. Get back into the vehicle, make that courtesy phone call, whoever it is that you alerted to what was going on, and let them know what happened, that you're well on your way, and that will be it. Now, in conclusion, we've went over the hazards, safety measures, tools needed, and how to change a flat tire. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.